Hey, broken salespeople. So yesterday was the Super Bowl. So let's talk about marketing because obviously that's what we're talking about this episode of the Broken Salespeople podcast. Hey, broken salespeople. Welcome to the workshop. My name is Red Stafstrom, and we are here to help you fix your broken sales skills. So on the day I'm releasing this podcast, it's going to be the day after the Super Bowl. We're probably talking about a lot of the ads that went up. Hopefully, we're talking about Tom Brady being super embarrassed by his performance. I can hope. I'm kind of sick of seeing him up there as a Giants fan and as a New Englander. I'd rather not see him anymore, but that's a long story in and of itself. But I know everybody will be talking about the commercials. They'll talk about the ads they saw, the ads they liked, the ads they didn't like. Think of the Jason Momoa commercial from last year where he was skinny and in a wig. That was uncomfortable for all of us. So I'm going to take this opportunity while a lot of people are talking about advertising to talk about advertising. Talk about the two biggest styles of advertising there are out there. One is branding. That's most of what you saw last night. That is companies working to increase and improve the relationship that you have with them. Hey, they may not ask you specifically, go out and buy a Jeep today, but they are asking you to be friendlier with Jeep, to like them more, to get along a little bit better. Branding ads are similar to when your friends call you up on Friday and say, how's your week been? There's no agenda, there's no anything else. It's just touching base with one another. Branding is designed to work off of the mere exposure effect, mere MERE. The idea behind the mere exposure effect is the more that you are merely exposed to something increases your how comfortable you are with that thing. The less you are exposed to something, the less comfortable you are with those. So when you see that ad for Oreos, you're probably not going to take an action right now. You're probably not going to drop everything you're doing, jump in your car, go to the grocery store, and pick up a plastic tray of Oreos. It's not going to happen. What branding is looking to do is to get you comfortable so that when a buying opportunity presents itself, you're more comfortable with making that decision. When you do happen to go to the grocery store, hey, there are Oreos. That sounds good because you and Nabisco have that relationship already. Think about being asked to hang out with somebody you don't know. Blind date. You may not want to do that. But okay, now you're asked to go and hang out with somebody you've been close friends with for 15 years. It's a different story. Branding seeks to build on that relationship that already exists rather than create a new relationship from scratch. The other kind of marketing that you see most often is direct call to action marketing. Click here, buy now, watch this webinar, download my PDF, sign up for my newsletter. All of these are direct call to action marketing styles where you are asking the customer to do something in order to take an action, to move things forward on their own. So rather than your buddy saying, hey, you mind if I stop by to hang out? What they're asking for is for you guys to do something together that's mutually advantageous, to do something together. Hey, I'm getting rid of this. Would you like to come and pick it up? Hey, I'm getting rid of my chop saw. Would you like one? Hey, yeah, okay, all you have to do is come by and pick it up. That's perfectly fine. But the call to action, what they are asking you to do, get in your car, come to my house, pick up the chop saw. Mutually advantageous. I don't have to get rid of it. You get a chop saw. That's what direct call to action marketing is. It's you take an action in order to get value on the other end. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If I call somebody and offer them a chop saw, some of them will be really excited. Some of them will say, what's a chop saw? That's a different problem. So those are the two big ones. It's branding and direct call to action marketing. Both are good. There is no bad one when they're used in the right place. So what is the right place? Direct call to action, contrary to popular belief, is better early on. And I want you to understand why. People are suspect of somebody who just wants to build a relationship out of nowhere. Kind of feels like a Nigerian prince kind of thing. They When somebody is offered something for nothing, offered friendship without a return of friendship or something else in that regard, they get suspicious. So starting with direct call to action with small favors works very well. Things like download my free PDF. You don't have to pay anything, but now I have your email and I can market to you later. Um, that is a direct call to action that works very well early on. It works great at the beginning of your funnel, your ladder, your pipeline, whatever you want to call it, whatever your company uses. Those are all fairly similar one way or another, but you get my point. Direct call to action works very well early on and then later on. Branding works in the middle. See, that person may have downloaded that PDF. They may have started that relationship going. They engaged with your direct call to action marketing and you got things going. Now it's time to start building that relationship. You don't need to go out on a date every single time, but you do need to talk on the phone once in a while. Great branding creates that relationship or creates those conversations in order to build that relationship. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Social media is a great tool for branding. And I don't mean social media advertising, I mean organic style posts through social media. Um, the acronym I always think back to is FORDS, FORDS. Family and friends, occupation, recreation, dreams, school, and sports. These are my small talk principles. These are a great way to build branding for you as a salesperson because they help people see you as a person, not just car salesman 92645 or Cutco knife guy 4022. It's the idea that social media can set you apart as a human being rather than just a salesperson works very well for branding. There are certain companies that you buy from purely because of who they are and what they believe. Black Rifle Coffee, for because they are a coffee company with very conservative views. Nike, people buy from Nike because of their progressive views. You can look through a lot of different companies. Nike versus New Balance is one in particular that you could see that customers flocked to or away from based on their ideologies, or in New Balance's case, almost the lack thereof. New Balance didn't really come out and say one thing or another. It was more New Balance is the anti Nike, and that's why people went there. Um, but that's a whole nother conversation to have. Um, the best way to think of it as a boots on the ground salesperson, direct call to action early on. Hey, let's set up an appointment and go over everything. That is a great call to action that you can have. Then it's about building the relationship. Hey, are you also, once you understand the problems that they have, you can offer little tweaks, offer little things to touch base. Hey, I saw this article that I think you'd like. Hey, I saw this. Hey, I thought about this. You're building the relationship. Having those little touches in the middle, that's branding. Then later on, you get to the point where, hey, now we came out with this and I think it will be really good for you. It's another direct call to action marketing. See, you need direct call to action. Without asking for something, you usually won't get anything. So you need a call to action plan. But in the middle, you need that branding to build those relationships, to keep things alive. The question for you is going to be what that ratio is. How much call to action can you do? If you have small ticket sales, yes, being more call to action driven is perfectly fine. If you sell physical products that are less expensive, say under $200, depending on what the product is, yeah, you could pretty much go direct call to action. Anything more expensive, you may want to build a little bit more of a relationship first. Make sure that you're trusted. Um, Business to business is much more about branding than it is about call to action. A single call to action probably won't get a business and a C-suite, a major corporation to jump forward. But branding and being seen over and over and over again for years can get you there. That's the big difference. The idea of somebody else has used me and I have a testimonial from them, that is more branding than it is a call to action. Testimonials are great branding. It's not a direct, you give me this, I give you that, but it can help deepen that relationship. Make sure you pay attention. Make sure you know when to use what. Don't focus on being funny. Don't focus on being the most clever. Sometimes being the most direct is the best thing you can do. Just know when's the right time for you, for your business, for your product. So I hope this helped. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, if you want to reach out, brokensalespeople.com/connect. You can find me all sorts of ways there. You can also, please also take the time. Here's my direct call to action. Like, subscribe, review. All of them help the channel a lot, and it helps me bring more content to you guys and helps me help more people out. So please like, subscribe, review. Wherever you're watching or listening to this, make sure you do that. Please, thank you guys so much for joining me. And until next time, go fix yourself.